love building Lego and am super interested into military vehicles. And today I wanna see where the differences are between a $1 versus a $1,000 Lego army. The first $1 vehicle will be a mobile rocket launcher system. I've took inspiration from this American M270 multiple launch rocket system. As you should have all the parts already on hand, or probably most of them, this shouldn't cost you more than $1 to build. I've used a bunch of modified bricks to connect all the tiny parts together and then finally added the weapon system, which is this rocket launcher. And the rocket, which actually is a Lego skiing stick, couldn't miss. Next I've decided to build the most advanced fighter jet, which is the F-35. Again, I had most of the parts on hand, so this jet also cost me only $1. I've started building the nose and then continued with the canopy. I've therefore used the black 1x2 curved slope, as I think this perfectly works, especially at this scale. I've then continued with one of the most important parts, which is the engine and the back wing. After attaching both of the parts, I've only needed a wing, and I've used these 1x2x2 slopes for that. To perfectly display the model, I've decided to build a stand out of 3 parts. We have a small microscale army now, so let's build a cool mock to display both of the vehicles real quick. I've decided to go with a sandy landscape, including a small rock where the F-35 is flying over. I've therefore removed the stand and only kept the bar piece, which allowed me to actually stick it into that rock. The final step is adding some details in the groundwork by using tiles, slopes and curved plates. I've even included the dune right next to the rock. Using all the tiles helps creating this flat look of deserts we all know. I've even prepared a small slot for our M270. And here's the first of several builds in this video. After watching the full video, to don't miss the $1,000 army, feel free to comment down below which of the builds your favorite was, and don't forget to like and subscribe. But let's continue with our $10 army. Custom printed minifigures can be pretty expensive, but you can also make some cool minifigures with a small budget. I've used an official torso, legs as well as a head for the minifigure and geared it out with a vest, backpack, of course a gun, as well as a helmet including a night vision. Torso, legs and head cost about $4, the vest as well as the backpack $1, weapon and helmet $2, which makes a total of $10. Our next soldier will be similar to the one we've seen before, but definitely has some differences. I've added this custom printed chin strap head to the minifigure, which really adds a lot. Other than that, the torso is again official Lego, and the brick arms, vest and helmet as well as the weapon is also well known. I've prepared one more minifigure, which is this urban combat soldier, which actually comes with dual molded legs. Other than that, I've added a regular head as well as a helmet, vest and these goggles, and of course a gun. This minifigure cost about $8 to make. Here are all 3 lined up, and now I will build individual scenes for all of them. I've started building this frame by using modified bricks as well as plates and tiles. Next I've added a bunch of 1x2 transplaque tiles, which are supposed to look like water, at where the minifigure will come out in a second. I've made the coast by using a few wedged plates and added some tiles to cover all the studs. Now it's time to activate night mode. I've turned out the light in my room and took this cool picture. I've decided to build the same frame for all 3 builds, so let's continue with the urban one. I will build a house as well as a street, and the soldier will stand right next at the corner of it. After tiling the floor, I've added a bunch of 1x4 tiles to the wall, which creates a pretty cool look. The scene is done, so let's add the soldier and continue with the third one. For this build I will again use a lot of tan as well as white, as I will build a small house. At first I've prepped a 1x1 stud with a hole inside and added this minifigure positioning tool in there. This piece allowed me to place our freshly made door at an angle like so. I've then added the soldier, which creates the look like he just kicked off that door. Now I just needed to finish the ground as well as building the small house surrounding the door. I've added final details at the roof, and here is the final scene. So here are all 3 builds with our low budget figures, but let's continue with the $100 army. I've decided to go with my TPZ Fuchs, which is a German 6-wheeled armored personal carrier. After adding a proper gun, it is finally time to show you the first custom printed minifigures. These bodies cost about $15, and as the Fuchs cost about $70, I've had a budget of 2 figures left. I've added the dark red Barrett and of course the G36 rifle to the minifigure. As the vehicle is quite big, it deserves a 32x32 base plate mock. I've added 4x8 dark green plates and then the street. I've left a small gap to attach the modified plate as well as some regular plates to attach it. As I will build a NATO checkpoint, I've needed a gate. This one is fully functional, which I will show you later on. Let's finish the build first. Military checkpoints need big fences, and I've therefore used these leather pieces, which I've attached by using bar pieces as well as these modified plates. On top of that, I've added a Lego chain which works as barbed wire. Of course, I've mirrored the fence design at the other side. To add some more detail to the build, I've decided to go with these light green vegetation pieces. Let me add the Fuchs as well as the 2 soldiers to the build and show you how the gate works. So that was my $100 army, but how does the $1,000 army looks like? You will see it now. The Humvee has a price tag of about $70, the minifigure about $25. And let me tell you something, it fits in the turret. I've even built a second Humvee with a rocket launcher. And here's a closer look at both of them. Just as the rear vehicle, the back door is fully openable. To safely transport our troops to the battlefields, we need the M2 Bradley. This vehicle is well armored and armed with a Bushmaster cannon as well as a rocket launcher. Of course, the turret is turnable by 360 degrees and the rocket launcher is movable. Now we just need to open the back door and we can load our troops in there. Before we take a closer look at the abrams, let me show you the tanker real quick. I am absolutely in love with the chocolate chip camo, which was mainly used during Operation Desert Storm. But let's talk about the abrams, which of course again has a turnable turret. Of course, the back of the model is also fully detailed. Every good army needs air support, and here is where our Black Hawk comes to action. Of course, the blades are fully movable. Before I show you the F-16, let's take a closer look at its pilot. Little side note, oxygen mask actually is an official Lego piece. But here is our fast fighter jet. It comes with 2 extra fuels as well as with a loadout of missiles. It even has some functionality. Due to its scale, unfortunately it can't fit the pilot inside. To perfectly display this model, I've decided to elevate it and therefore removed tires. I've then attached a bunch of transparent 1x1 rounded bricks underneath the model and added this black plate on top of it. And here it is, our $1,000 Lego army. Let me know in the comments down below how you like this army and if you even have a bigger one.